Welcome to the introduction of our presentation on organizational behavior. In today's global world, culture plays a vital role in shaping how teams communicate, interact, and view leadership. This topic dives into key theories like Hofstede's cultural dimension, groupthink, and social identity theory. Supported by real-world example, it highlights the unique challenges of working in both multicultural and monocultural teams, helping us understand how culture influences teamwork. By analyzing these factors, we gain valuable insights into how teams can collaborate effectively across diverse cultural backgrounds. Let's explore how culture shapes workplace behavior.
Hello everyone, today I will be sharing how cultural background has shaped the way I approach teamwork, communication, navigate cross-cultural team experience. Firstly, growing in a collectivist culture, I was raised to prioritize group harmony and cohesion over individual achievement. From a young age, I learned that maintaining unity and minimizing conflict is more important than pushing one's own ideas. In group setting, I tend to avoid action that might disturb the team dynamic. Even if I have different opinions, I often hold back to keep the group peaceful. While this mindset can strengthen teamwork and cooperation, it can sometimes limit creativity and fast decision making, especially in diverse teams that value independent and bold thinking. Secondly, is communication style. My communication style is shaped by the value of respect, especially when disagreeing with someone. In my culture, being too direct might seem rude or confrontational, so I've learned to communicate in a more indirect and polite manner. However, in multicultural teams, especially those from individualistic background, can be misunderstood. What I consider respectful might come off passive or even unengaged. In brainstorming season, where quick and assertive contribution are the norms, I sometimes find it challenging to make my voice heard. The third one is cross-cultural team experience. One key experience that I really highlighted this difference was during a university group project. I worked with teammates from different culture. They were confident, vocal, and quick to challenge each other's ideas. Meanwhile, I prefer to be observed first and wait for the consensus. Because of this, my quieter style was misread as a lack of interest or motivation. On the other hand, I feel overwhelmed by what seemed like an overly confrontational style. This mismatch led to misunderstanding and the team's cohesion suffered at the beginning of the project.
Well, culture shapes how we work in teams. Ofstet's theory explains difference in individualism, collectivism, and power distance. Understanding this helps navigate group dynamics effectively. Next, leadership perception also varies. Some cultures respect authority, while others encourage open feedback. This impacts teamwork, decision making, and innovation. By recognizing this influence, we can adapt, collaborate better, and create stronger teams.
Next, I want to challenge a common assumption that managing a monoculture group, where everyone shares the same culture background, is problem-free. While cultural similarity might reduce language barrier or surface level misunderstanding, research show that monocultural teams still face serious internal challenges. I briefly explain 5 key problems that often go unaffected. I briefly explain 5 key problems that often go unnoticed. First is groupthink. When everyone thinks alike, there's risk that people wanna speak up with different or people ideas. This false sense of agreement leads to poor decision making because dissent is avoided to maintain harmony. Over time, creativity and innovation suffer. Second is social loving in group work, especially when individual roles are unclear. Some members may reduce their effort. Even in shared culture, people may assume others will pick up the slack, leading to unfair workload and reduced team performance. Third is rule conflict. Just because we share the same culture does not mean we interpret rules the same way. Misunderstanding about what each person should do can cause confusion, frustration, and even mistrust, especially if expectations are not communicated clearly. 4. In-group bias and status inequality. Monocultural groups still have power dynamics based on age, gender, region, or education. Some voices tend to dominate while others are ignored, leading to inequality and disengagement. Finally, dysfunctional groups norms. So team practice become habits just because that's how we have always done it. This and challenge norms can block improvement and stop the group from adapting or innovating.
Today, I will talk about how to build group cohesion while supervising a work group in a context different to your home country. First, build trust and respect. Manager can build trust and respect by learning their local culture. So, it's make an effort to learn communication style and values. When a manager take the time to understand how people from different cultures speak, listen, and express opinion, this show respect and build relationship between managers and group members. This kind of effort make people feel safe and feel appreciated. Second is observe team interaction. When managing a multicultural or diverse team, it's important not just to focus on what people say but also how they behave with each other. Managers need to pay attention to team behavior such as how they interact, how decisions are made, and how the conflicts are handled. For example, manager can watch how people communicate during meeting or group work. Observing team interaction help manager for better understanding team strength and weakness and identifying areas where interventions might be helpful. Last, engage in active listening and open dialogue. Manager need to understand team member expectation, preferred working style, and what group cohesion mean to them. Besides this, managers should listen carefully to what is said and what may be left unsaid, especially in culture that value indirect communication.
Next is collaboratively build a hybrid culture. The team must co-create a team culture that blends the best elements from different cultural backgrounds. This can approach allow shared values and norms to emerge originally, leading to a stronger sense of ownership and cohesion among team members. Next is the team not only minimize conflict but also a more innovative way of working. Through the integration of the most desirable elements from multicultural backgrounds, the team not only minimized the conflict but also added a more innovative way of working. In 2021, Harvard Business Review conducted a study which showed that hybrid culture teams have a 25% creative problem-solving advantage that compared to homogeneous teams. For example, companies like Spotify use a squad model that combines Swedish flexibility with Japanese precision to enhance global projects. This can ensure the hybrid culture develops dynamically, enhancing collaboration and inclusivity in the long term. Next is identify which differences help and which hinder. First is, we must enhance creativity and productivity versus those that might cause miscommunication or tension to distinguish between cultural differences. Second is, we must understand to set a clear guidelines and processes that respect cultural differences and to help avoid unnecessary conflict. Third is, we must determine which cultural differences will facilitate teamwork and which will inhibit it. Lastly is, be open and culturally humble. We must acknowledge that you are learning. We, as a manager, must learn that we not the really know about that because we are still learning. Second is we must avoid assuming that our existing leadership style will work on everyone. We must know what everyone like and what they don't like because we is the leader, we must know their style of learning. There is be flexible and willing to adapt based on what works best in the new context. We must be more flexible because we want to teach a people about something new. And according to Forbes 2022 research, 25% humble leaders outperform others.
In summary, culture plays a key role in shaping group behavior, communication, and leadership. Whether in multicultural or monocultural teams, issues like groupthink, social loafing, and role conflict can hinder effectiveness. Using frameworks like Hofstede's dimension and social identity theory help us better understanding these dynamics. To improve team performance, we should build cultural awareness, encourage open dialogue, value diverse views, and establish inclusive team norms. This step can enhance collaboration in today's global work environment. Thank you.